The coaching staff is coming together, and that is a good thing.
It's LeGarrette Blount here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, aka Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and the YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how the coaching tree of the Detroit Lions, chain of command, is coming together, and that is a great thing. The Lions, they hired defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. Looks like we got defensive line coach Giff Smith, and the offensive coordinator. We're heating up here with multiple interviews such as Anthony Lynn, Ken Dorsey, and Ike Hilliard. Before we jump into this video, if you're not a subscriber and over 50% of you are not, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. Trying to get to 12,000 subscribers, going against the legacy media. I am just one guy and they are a juggernaut. Also, let's get that likes up to 200 likes. The folks of Chat Sports monitoring my content, and they'd love to see that hit over 200 likes. Let's start with the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. I'm sure a lot of people already know that Aaron Glenn is the defensive backs coach from the New Orleans Saints. And interestingly enough, a subscriber brought this up on the One Pride podcast, talking about how this is really good for the young defensive backs of the Detroit Lions, such as Amani Oruwariye and Jeffrey Okudah. That is a great statement, and it makes a lot of sense. When you invest a third-round draft pick in Jeffrey Okudah, you want to see the growth happen because you don't want such a player to be a bust. We got a lot of issues with the defense, and the last thing we need is to have a player not grow, and having an individual who played and coached that position is perfect for what we're needing for the defensive coordinator. Amani Oruwariye, young guy as well, showed a lot of growth last season, but we need to continue to have that growth. We put a lot of resources from the Quinn Tricia era into the defensive backfield, so getting a defensive mind to help these individuals out makes sense. Comment. Let me know in the comments section. Who do you want for offensive coordinator? It will be the pinned comment for this video. Put in a name. It doesn't necessarily have to be individuals that are rumored to be the Detroit Lions. It could be anybody. Just go ahead, give me a name, and let's turn this into a forum. Also, little worrisome when it comes to not having a coordinator be the coordinator. With that said, understanding that Terrell Austin was also a defensive backs coach who was a very good defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Can't say that about everyone, because if you look at our last defensive coordinator under Quinn Tricia, that was a coach that didn't work out too much. Lynn. Now again, that could be with Matt Patricia, very well could be, but you never know when it comes to getting a person who played a specific role on a team to become a coordinator. We'll see going forward, but I do like the idea of the strength of the Saints coming to the Lions, and hopefully this defense can slowly come together. Glenn has a lot of work to do, and hats off to him, because it's going to be very difficult for this man to turn this ship around on defense. And I can't stress this enough regarding Glenn. We as fans must be patient with this man as defensive coordinator. He's taking on a monumental task, the likes that we haven't seen, not even since 0-16. The defense from the Detroit Lions this past year was statistically as bad as the 0-16 team, a little bit worse. And considering the fact that the Detroit Lions offense was much better than 0-16, it is a very bad defense. They're going to have to revolve a lot of players on this roster defensively. And we only got 5 draft picks. We don't have a whole lot of cap space. So be patient with Glenn. Let's sit back and understand that he's working with a lot of pawns and not a whole else in this game of chessboard. It's going to be a difficult task for him to complete. Once we slowly get players that are actually good enough to play as starters on a defense, we can judge a little bit more regarding his philosophy and how he runs a defense. It'll be interesting to see what type of defense he wants to implement. 3-4, 4-3. I am a 4-3 type of guy. I like having the two defensive interiors and the guys on the outside. I've always preferred that defense. To me, it's more simplified, and it's a defensive scheme that's simple, but it works, and we've seen it work in the past. I love nice pass rushers. I love getting good defensive ends, great interior, and I think if we draft well, we could really have a good 4-3 on our hands fairly quickly on the defensive line. When it comes to the 3-4, I just think we don't really have good enough players for that to turn around as fast. So hopefully he implements the 4-3, but it could be either way. With that said, again, I cannot stress enough, give this man some time. He can be a very good coordinator, hopefully, going forward, but be patient with what he brings to the table for the Detroit Lions defense. Hit that like button. It's important to hit that like button because it gets the video out via YouTube algorithm. Like I said, I'm going against the legacy media. It'd be nice to get this video out. Share it along and bring my information to every Lions fan out there. When it comes to the defensive line, it looks like we're hiring Giff Smith from the Chargers. This is very much interesting because the Chargers have an impending free agent a lot of people like, who is upon that defensive line / linebacker core. So we're going to watch this going forward to see if this guy is hired, and we can utilize the concepts of looking at some of these free agents, specifically from the Chargers. Our defensive line coach is gone, so it's good to get another fresh set of eyes and ears on this defensive line. We're going to need a lot of help defensively, and it's good to see that we're getting some new eyes in place to help this defense out. Hopefully this defensive line can get better, stop the run, rush the passer, everything that we want this defensive line to do, and hopefully Giff Smith can help us out with that. Most importantly, though, is the offensive coordinator position. We've seen a lot of names thrown out there for the Lions offense. Who is going to be running this system? We already looked at the Baltimore Ravens quarterbacks coach. Now there's a couple more names coming in here for the Detroit Lions, and one is Ken Dorsey, who is the quarterbacks coach of the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, when you look at Josh Allen and the magic work that was done there, he was an integral part in that process, and I think he could be a good asset for the Detroit Lions via offensive coordinator. They have a very good offense over there. A lot of people enjoyed the growth that took place for the Buffalo Bills, and I think he could be an asset for the Detroit Lions. Another name that we're looking at is Ike Hilliard. Now, he is the wide receivers coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, former player. Pittsburgh Steelers are notorious to having good wide receivers, getting open in space. Obviously, their team was fairly good this year. Unfortunately for them, the quarterback was a little underperforming at the end, but he could be an eye to look on. But the most intriguing name personally for me is none other than Anthony Lynn, the former head coach of the Chargers. Now, if you look at the defensive lines coach from the Chargers, Anthony Lynn could be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He was there helping out with Justin Herbert, seeing a lot of growth there. Their team was winning at the end, and their offense was high-powered, regardless win-loss record. Anthony Lynn, again, could be a very good offensive mind for the Detroit Lions. The development of that offense could come back to the Detroit Lions as well. And I think he would be a good mentor to Matthew Stafford, and or if they decided to get a young quarterback in this draft. To me, he would be the top candidate personally for the Lions. He has head coaching experience. He has a lot of experience as well as an offensive coordinator, a good mind, and I think that would be a great offensive coordinator to have for the Detroit Lions. Good when it comes to passing the football, but also running the football. And I think it's important to have at least one experienced coach on this team. I think it would be great to have somebody that's been in the position and can help out Dan Campbell if needs some sort of help for the head coaching position, give him some ideas of what's possibly going to take place. And I think that would be a great replacement of Darrell Bevell. Are we going to have Matthew Stafford? Are we going to have another quarterback? Are we going to be doing the classic quarterback under center, throwing out of the pocket? Or are we going to have a quarterback that is dual threat with the running ability? This is a big question mark for the Detroit Lions offense going forward. And so finding out who the offensive coordinator is going to be extremely important and insightful for how the Lions could potentially look going forward. What type of players we have, what type of offensive scheme we're going to implement. Are we going to be power? Are we going to be running a lot of football with a quarterback and running game going forward? I like how Dan Campbell was talking about how he wants to utilize DeAndre Swift almost like an Alvin Kamara, and I think that can work. But what is this offensive coordinator going to bring? A lot of question marks, and I am so ready to have these answers so we can move on to more important things like getting talent for this roster via free agency and NFL draft. We're so close to that point, but we got to see who these coordinators are. Once that's in place, we can move forward. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to be doing the free agent video for the Detroit Lions of free agents who the Detroit Lions currently will be in free agency. I'll do obviously other free agents coming forward when regards to other NFL teams. Once this coaching staff is in place, I can really narrow down some possible players that could be candidates for the Detroit Lions. Also going to be doing the One Pride podcast on Thursday. Got some special guests coming in from some new Detroit Lions YouTubers. I'm excited to bring them in there